everybody, and welcome to our week number 3 Twitch live stream. We're already in week 3 of our semester, which just seems crazy and hard to believe. But it is almost September. I'm definitely ready for the fall. I hope everyone is doing well and hanging in there. I see a bunch of you kind of logging in and joining me. Can you all hear me and see me okay? Could someone let me know in the chat? I am at home, so I expect that the internet is much better than it would be at school. Okay, good. I really don't think I want to even try to do this at school anymore with how bad everything has been. So I'm glad everything is coming through. Great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, so we are in week number 3, as I mentioned. So we are right here. I want to go back, just give you a little bit of feedback about week 2. And then we'll talk about what we have going on this week, which is kind of our usual stuff plus our first homework assignment. So last week, excuse me, if we bring this up here, we were looking at the second part of chapter 2. We had discussion number 2. And so most of you did really well on the discussion. Great job answering all of the questions, kind of distinguishing between science and pseudoscience. A lot of pseudoscience in our culture, so really nicely done. Good job identifying that demarcation problem and kind of describing it and some of the problems with that classification. I felt like most of you did a really great job. The biggest reason that people lost points was just not quite giving me enough. So if you're getting feedback from me of like, I would have liked a little more, or please elaborate a little more, just make sure you kind of go into a little more detail moving forward so that you get all of those points. Think about it as like a mini paper, if that helps you. That's the number one thing that people are kind of losing points with, is just not quite elaborating enough to demonstrate understanding. Also, don't forget to reply to a classmate. So a couple of you, I want to say there was about 6 of you that didn't reply to a classmate and lost those 2 points. So just make sure you're doing both of those things in order to get all of the points that are possible on the discussion. So last week in week 1, we had kind of like a very similar, like consistent format. Week number 3, we have a couple of things that are a little bit different, but still following the same format. So we have chapter 2, part 2 this week. And so as always, you'll want to read chapter 2, part 2 in the textbook. You'll also want to read through my lecture. So looking here a little bit about how do we find articles, how do we read scientific articles. I have a little bit beyond the book for you about academic versus non-academic sources, and evaluating websites as sources. Most of us tend to get our research from the internet, so kind of things that you should look for when you're trying to find information online. There's also a really important and helpful video down here that the library made with me. They made this a couple of years ago, so some of the links that they mentioned in there might be a little different. But for the most part, this is a fantastic video that they made for me about references and so on, how to find things online with the library. Should be a really, really helpful video, not only for the discussion this week, but also for your homework assignment. So make sure that you do watch this video. And then finally, on the last page, you have the key terms in review. These are the terms from the second part of chapter 2 that you'll need to know for the test. As always, I gave you a lecture video as well, so you can watch my lecture video where I'm talking with some PowerPoint slides. And then we have a discussion, a homework assignment, and then a little kind of check-in survey. And so let's go through all of those together. And if you have any questions at any point, of course, feel free to ask. Let's look at discussion number 3 first. And it's really my hope that the discussion and homework assignment all kind of build on each other this week. So I hope that it feels that way for you. As always, read my instructions. I would really recommend watching the videos. The videos, I try to give you a little bit more detail and elaborate to help you with your post. So with this one, you're going to be choosing a specific topic related to psychology. PTSD, depression, anorexia, EMDR, ketamine therapy, classical conditioning, right? Anything related to psychology. And then I want you to try searching for a topic using 3 different platforms. You're going to search for it with like a general search engine like Yahoo or Google or something like that. Then you're going to use Google Scholar, and then finally psych articles through the library website. After you've completed your search, then you're going to answer these questions about those sources of information. So you'll tell me, what was your search topic? What topic did you come up with? And then number two, you're going to think about the differences between these three platforms. And there should be some differences. I would expect to see that. What kind of information did you get from the general search engine? Were the results based on research? Did you see more commercial websites or blogs, that kind of stuff? Which of the three platforms was easiest to get a general overview? Which one gave you the most up-to-date research? And which of the three made it easiest to know if the information had been peer-reviewed? Then, number three, what is the difference between an academic source and a non-academic source? Something that I covered quite a bit in the lecture. And give me an example of each. And finally, give me an advantage and disadvantage of using something like Wikipedia. And our librarian goes into this in her video that I have posted under the lecture. So something related to psychology and then searching and writing about it. Don't forget to also reply to a classmate, right? You want to make sure you're getting those two kind of easy points with every single discussion. The other thing is, remember that we have 4 homework assignments in this class. And so you do have your first one this week. And the homework assignments are worth 25 points, so it's more than a discussion. So you definitely want to spend some time on them. If you click on homework assignment number 1, it's going to give you the instructions. It'll tell you what kind of files you can upload. It's worth 25 points. And the way that you'll submit it is by hitting Start Assignment up here in the top right, and that will allow you to upload your document. And the point of this first assignment is for you to gain experience locating an APA-style article through Psych articles, and then practicing locating the components of that article. So again, this kind of goes back to the idea of the librarian who's showing you how to use our website. And then in the discussion, you're trying to search for a topic. So if you are searching for a topic, you could very easily find an article related to it. So you could feel free to try to kind of combine them a little bit and save yourself a little bit of time and effort. So what you're turning into me, it should be about a page to 2 pages, just standard margins, typed, Times New Roman, size 12 font, double spaced, all the kind of standard APA style formatting stuff. Please label everything. Make it really easy for me to see what it is that you're talking about. And I do have a sample right down here at the bottom. And so you'll notice how they labeled everything so that I could find it very simply. So here's what you're doing. You're going to Psych articles on the Moorpark College website, and I gave you the directions of how to get there step by step. You're going to pick a topic related to psychology. And again, this could be the same topic that you use for your discussion. Might as well, right? You could totally save yourself a little time and effort, or you can pick something different if you would prefer. You're going to locate an empirical article that adheres to APA style. So what that means is you want to make sure that it has each one of these sections: an abstract, an introduction, method, results, discussion, and references. So you can open it and make sure it has each one of those. If it does not, move on, find another one. These sections are usually labeled pretty clearly and easy to find. You're going to click on PDF full text, download and save a copy of that. You're going to upload the article with your post so that I can access it, I can review it and read through it to make sure that you have correlated it properly. So download that PDF copy so you can upload it for me. And then in addition to downloading and uploading the PDF, this is what I want you to write in your paper. So your paper is going to give me the title, right? The title, author, and publication information. You're going to copy and paste the abstract and label it abstract. You're going to copy and paste the first sentence for each section. So more than anything, what I'm trying to get you to do here is identify the different sections of the paper and kind of get your first taste of like what an APA style paper looks like if you haven't ever seen one. So I'm looking for you to give me each section and then give me the first sentence. Do a quick read of the article. Don't worry about like understanding everything, but read through it, kind of a quicker skim sort of read. And you're going to summarize the article in a couple of sentences, like you were telling somebody that you know about it. And you'll turn all of this in. Oh, I apologize, that date is wrong. Let me update that when we're done here. But you're going to submit all of that right here through Canvas, where it's a start assignment. You'll upload your paper plus the PDF. And here's what it should look like. So I gave you a sample. So notice how title, and then here's the title. Authors. Journal and publication, there it is. Abstract, there it is, right? So each section of the paper you're just copying and pasting that first sentence. The only thing that you're writing that should be your own work is this last part where you're summarizing the article as if you were describing it to another person. Otherwise, you're basically just identifying components of the paper and copying and pasting them to make it look like this. So it should be roughly a page or so, depending on how long the abstract and stuff is. And you're submitting it here, right where it says start assignment, along with the PDF of the article. So I hope that makes sense. Again, the focus of this, more than writing a whole lot, is focusing on identifying pieces of the article. And as I mentioned, feel free to use the same topic as you're doing for the discussion and make your life a little bit easier. Are there any questions at all about the homework? If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Remember, it's due by this Sunday night, like everything else, at 11:59 p.m. Otherwise, the one other component that you have for this week, if you have a question, put it in the chat. I'm just going to be mindful of time, move on. If you click on survey, checking in, this is worth a couple of points, but I just would like you to kind of tell me what's going on, right? How you're doing, your experience with the class so far. So it's just 2 questions. It should take you no more than 5 minutes. Everything is anonymous. I'm sorry, this one isn't worth points. It's just completely anonymous. I would just love you to kind of give me your feedback. So if you have the opportunity this week, take this quick survey, kind of let me know how you're doing, how things are going, and answer the 2 questions that are there. The only other thing for the week is there is an optional extra credit question that I'll give you in a moment. I do have a couple of reminders for you, so let me put the reminders in the chat. The first one, as usual, I already typed it out. Please take a moment to double check your subscription status. I really cannot say how much I appreciate those of you who have figured this out. It saves me time and wow, we just started soccer this week, and so my life is so busy. I'm coaching my daughter's soccer team. I'm coaching my other daughter's softball team. Oh, yeah, 3 kids, and they're all doing different sports. So I really appreciate those of you who figured that out. You can still figure it out if you haven't already. So just double check that you're still subscribed, and feel free to figure that out if you haven't. The other reminder I have for you is if you're looking ahead to next week, our next Twitch live stream will be on Wednesday, September 4th at 1 o'clock p.m. Oh, I'm sorry, at 12:30 p.m. I had the time wrong. I was off because of today. So at 12:30 p.m. I might have to move that back to 1. I'm not going to do this at school anymore just because it feels like the internet has been so bad. So my intro psych class will be right before us at 11:30. So it might be safe to say, or I mean, theirs will be at 12. So I'll let you know if I'm going to change the time at all. But for now, just plan for a normal time next week. I might move it back by about 15 minutes, but I'll let you know if I do decide to do that. The other thing I have for you is the extra credit question. And this is something that I covered quite a bit in the lecture for this week. So this is the week number 3, Twitch extra credit. Twitch extra credit question. So the question for you, and I'm putting it in the chat, what are some of the questions you should ask about a website before using it as a research resource? So what are some of the questions you should ask about a website before using it as a research resource? And when you're ready to answer that, you'll go back to Canvas. And since we're in week 3, you'll click on optional Twitch extra credit number 3 right here. And then up at the top, click on start assignment. And that brings up that box where you can type your response. Okay. And when you're done, hit submit, get your little confetti burst. And let's see, spaceships. I mean, why not, right? So again, that's worth 2 points. So if you've missed a couple of points on one of the discussions, that would help make up for it. You know, and it's nice to have a little bit of a buffer. So if you are watching this live, then you're all set to answer that. If you're watching this as a recording, remember to make sure you're subscribed, and then you can still answer it on here for credit. I'll post the recording a little bit later today, and I'm going to update that date really quick on the assignment so I don't confuse any of you with that. But what I'll do, I'll hang out for a few minutes. If any of you do have any questions for me, if there's anything I can answer about the homework or the discussion or anything for the class, please feel free to put that in the chat. I believe this Sunday is the first. Let's double check. Yep, Sunday the 1st. I can't believe it's almost September. I'm so ready for September. I'm so ready for like Halloween and to put up all my Halloween decorations outside and have pumpkin spice everything. So anyway, I've updated that so now the date is correct. If you have any questions, like I said, I'll hang out for a little bit. Otherwise, I hope you all have a wonderful week and that you're doing well. And I will see you next Wednesday for our next Twitch live stream. So I'm going to minimize my video, but thank you as well. I hope you have a wonderful week. I hope you're all, like I said, doing well and hanging in there. If you do have any questions or anything, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, thank you. Go get going on this week's materials, and I will hope to see you all next week. Thank you all as well. Thank you. Have a wonderful week, everyone. And I am still here if any of you have any questions. I'm more than happy to answer them for you.